The man could see the number of times each person had cheated. With this ability, he found a wife who had never cheated. However, after marriage, he noticed that the number on his wife's head had changed. He thought he must have seen it wrong, but he noticed his wife's wedding ring was missing. When he asked her where it was, she said she had put it away because she was afraid of losing it. The man looked at the number on her head and realized she was lying. However, the number hadn't reached 100%, so it wasn't too serious. He still believed his wife wouldn't betray him. But when he brought her some fruit, he found her texting a stranger. The man realized the seriousness of the situation, but he kept quiet and told her a story during dinner. He said there was a female employee at their company who cheated, and as a result, her husband stabbed her to death multiple times. When the wife heard this, the number on her head quickly shrank until it became 1. The man sighed with relief. He also realized everything could still be saved. However, the next day, he received a message from his wife saying her mother had sprained her ankle and she was going to visit her, so she wouldn't be home that night. The man decided to visit his mother-in-law, but when he arrived at his wife's mother's house, he found her mother's foot was perfectly fine. He quickly called his wife on video, only to see that the number on her head had become 99. His wife hurriedly turned off the camera. The man asked her why she turned it off. She said the camera was broken and she was fixing her phone. The man said he would come over immediately, but his wife refused. In reality, his wife was at a hotel, preparing to book a room. She was afraid her husband would find out and was anxious to leave. However, she then received a message from her brother saying if she gave him some money, he would help her cover up the lie. The woman immediately agreed. She then returned and booked the most expensive room. Meanwhile, when the man was about to leave, his wife's brother stopped him. The man guessed that the brother was trying to delay him, so he made up an excuse for the brother to go back and get the keys. The brother quickly went inside to look, but when he came out, the man had already disappeared. The brother had no choice but to send a message to his sister about the situation. However, the woman didn't have time to check her phone. At this point, the angry man appeared outside the hotel using phone tracking to find his wife was there. He rushed to the front desk and asked if his wife had checked in. The receptionist said the hotel couldn't reveal personal information, but when the man handed her a gift card, she immediately started checking his wife's details. Just then, the mother and brother arrived. The mother said they urgently needed the man to leave with them. The man knew this was just a cover-up for his wife. While the three were arguing, the receptionist announced that she had found the wife's reservation. The man immediately asked her to take him to the room. The receptionist led him to his wife's room. However, just as she was about to open the door, she realized it was locked from the inside. The mother and brother stood in front of the door, claiming that they didn't believe their daughter would cheat. The man knew that the 99% cheating rate would definitely not be wrong. He pushed them aside and kicked the door open.